For centuries, the Galactic High Council had seen itself as the arbiter of all sentient life in the galaxy. 12 species formed its core, each older, more civilized than the last. They had guided empires, brokered peace, and declared wars with cold indifference. And when Earth applied for membership, the Council had laughed. Not because humanity was weak. Not because Earth was underdeveloped. They laughed because they were afraid. Ambassador Rail Core of the Silver Dominion stood as the mocking voice of the day. His voice slithered through the grand chamber. "Let the apes speak, if only for our amusement," he hissed, while the other delegates chuckled, their bioluminescent eyes gleaming in condescension. Standing at the center of the council hall was Ambassador Reza Karim, Earth's representative. A single human among 100 alien species. Tall, calm, and unreadable, he stood motionless as laughter echoed around him. "You claim to represent a species worthy of council inclusion?" Rail continued, rising from his obsidian seat. "A species barely out of its solar cradle whose first contact records are littered with war, destruction, and unprovoked aggression?" Reza didn't respond. The council chamber grew louder. Mockery turned into insult. One delegate played distorted recordings of human warfare. Another showed images of climate disasters and civil unrest. The montage was selective, biased, curated to provoke shame. But Reza Karim showed no reaction. Finally, Supreme Chairwoman Velks of the Trinari Hive gestured for silence. Her voice clicked and echoed. "You may answer now, human. If you have anything to say before we officially deny your petition." Reza stepped forward. He looked around, not at their faces, but above them at the ancient ceiling of the chamber covered in stars. Then, softly, with no emotion, he spoke. "You mock what you do not understand." There was a pause. "We came here to offer peace, cooperation, and a future. But you chose mockery. You interpret our restraint as weakness, our diplomacy as naivete." He looked directly at Rail. "And you forget, we didn't come here because we needed you." A subtle ripple moved through the chamber. The laughter stopped. Reza pulled a small device from his coat and pressed a single button. A moment later, holographic windows opened in midair across the chamber, each displaying real-time feeds. Giant human ships emerged from the edges of council-monitored space, silent, black, angular vessels unlike anything the council had seen. They weren't decorative. They weren't meant for show. They were instruments of war. One feed showed a Trinari outpost surrounded by Terran stealth frigates, no weapons fired, just a presence. Another displayed a silver mining fleet halted mid-jump by a blockade of Earth's orbital defense net. Not a single human ship had fired. They didn't need to. Then Reza spoke again. "We came in peace. But peace was never required." He deactivated the holograms. And then he turned and walked away. No fanfare. No threats. Just silence. As he stepped through the exit doors, the chamber stayed frozen. The council, for the first time in millennia, had no words. The doors closed behind him with a soft mechanical hiss. Hours later, across council space, news spread like wildfire. The term human silence became a phrase of dread. Entire sectors recalled their fleets. Treaties were rewritten overnight. Delegations were dispatched to Earth with apology after apology. But Earth said nothing. They didn't respond to messages. They didn't return calls. They simply waited. In the shadow of silence, on Trinari Prime, Supreme Chairwoman Velks met with her advisors in panic. "They didn't threaten us," she whispered. "They didn't even need to." "Then what do they want?" her Minister of External Affairs asked. Velks closed her many eyes slowly. "They want nothing now. That's what terrifies me." Meanwhile, on Earth, Reza Karim stood before the United Terran Assembly. His report was short. "They mocked. Then we walked out." Silence filled the chamber. And then a slow nod from the Secretary General. "That's enough," she said. Because Earth had said everything it needed to without saying anything at all.